I have tremendous pride for our heritage, for our language, for our culture. Wonderful individuals, and that's why we're so passionate. I want a big round of applause for the future leaders of our nation. Let's see.
I'm very proud to be here at Trade Tech with family members of Cesar Chavez. He was a hero to me, and I can't believe it's 20 years since we lost this great leader and this hero in the labor movement and for social justice. So we're going to do a little scene from a play that I wrote that we did in 2003, then again a few other times since. And so here we are 20 years later, remembering the activism, keeping the movement alive, community organizing, and working with great students like we have here at Trade Tech. So thank you for letting me be part of it.
I want to thank you all for coming today to honor the life work of Cesar Chavez. Today, April 23rd, marks the 20th year anniversary of Cesar's passing. He spent decades organizing farm workers, marching for social justice, fighting peacefully for labor union rights, and raising a family of 8 children. To begin our program, please help me welcome the Aztec dance group Mictlan Xicuac, who will give honor to the life of Cesar Chavez through one of our beloved traditions.
You know, I never knew Dr. King, I never met Mahatma Gandhi, but I knew Cesar Chavez, I knew Richard Chavez, and I know Dolores Huerta. And they are heroes in that same sense, that accomplished incredible things and did it all non-violently. Some 20 years ago, we had the honor and the sadness of carrying Cesar's coffin through the streets of Delano. 40,000 people. Now, I have nothing against CEOs of big companies or wonderful people. I know quite a few. Some of them are very nice people. But I've never seen 40,000 people turn out for the CEO of a major corporation. When Cesar decided he would start working for these people who were growing our food, who were doing all the hard work to make sure that we all could eat, he knew very well about those conditions because he had worked there in the fields with his wife, Helen. And so that's what they did. And I wrote a play about it. Let me just address the basic question. Why would somebody like me write a play about Cesar Chavez? How am I qualified? It certainly was an honor to do so, but where do I get the nerve to do that? All I can offer in my defense is that I was born on September 16th. Mexican Independence Day, for those of you who don't know. How did I meet Cesar Chavez? I'll tell you how I met him. I worked from a distance with the United Farm Workers through the 60s and 70s. It seemed a very good cause with the lettuce strike and the grape strike, you know, no uvas, no lechuga because of the horrible conditions in the field, no clean drinking water, no latrines in the fields, horrible conditions, low pay. I stopped buying lettuce. No lechuga? I'm down with that, Cesar Chavez. I didn't know him from Adam. But okay, yeah, I'm with you. Decades after I first started as just one of those many people that boycotted across the country, boycotted the grapes and the lettuce, what have you, so they get better conditions. I'm at a restaurant, Pan's on Sepulveda, I think, this restaurant near LAX, and I'm sitting there having my bowl of oatmeal, and this guy gets out of a car with another guy in a very modest car. I don't want to be disparaging about the car, but a very modest car, okay? And they walk in to this restaurant where I'm eating. And I go, that guy looks just like Cesar Chavez, but I knew it could not be Cesar Chavez because he was a labor leader known at the level of Jimmy Hoffa or somebody in that era. You know, he was nothing like Jimmy Hoffa, but he was a labor leader that was known that well, and he clearly would have to have a security detail around him and a Lincoln Town car and all sorts of amenities. No, it was him. He walked past me and I went, there's nobody that looks that much like Cesar Chavez. He looks just like him because it is him. So I go over to the table, I wait till they order their food before they're eating. I don't want to bother them. I said, Mr. Chavez, I don't want to bother you, but just for 1 second, I was involved with a great boycott, the lettuce boycott, and I'm a big fan of yours, and if there's anything I could ever do to help, he said, well, what do you do besides what you've done, and thank you? Do you have any sort of activism? I said, yeah, I'm an environmentalist. You know, I do a lot of environmental stuff. He said, that's very good. I'm happy to hear that you're saving the owls and the whales. What about the people? And he said it in a very, not in a threatening way at all, but he was challenging me in a very good way. And so he said, will you work with me on this? I said, absolutely. I began to work with him on pesticide issues and prove it's not just about saving the whales and the owls, it's about the people. Thank you. Gracias por todo. ¿Se puede? Sí, se puede. Gracias por todo.
It's so wonderful for me to be here at LA Trade Tech. It has a very special place in my heart because my older brother graduated from the culinary arts program. I think that there's many lessons that we can learn from the life and legacy of my tío Cesar. That you do not have to be born a superhero to make great changes and inspire great change in others. Great leaders can and often do come from very humble beginnings. He was a very humble and unassuming man. He didn't excel in school. In fact, you may know he never went even beyond the 8th grade. His family needed him to work in the fields full-time to help them survive because they were that poor. Cesar and my mother knew they were up for a huge challenge. The growers had the politicians in their pockets. They had the strong favor of law enforcement. But Cesar didn't let fear or self-doubt stop him from going after his dream. He learned through his work that good organizers and great leaders help ordinary people do extraordinary things. Everyone has a role to play. When you are trying to recruit people to help you for your cause, you don't say, well, fill out the checklist. You have, what's your level of education? You know, are you my same religion? Are you my same color? Do we have the same, background? You take all the help you can get from wherever you can get it, because everybody has a role to play. And that's how the United Farm Workers Movement was built. Many different people of different ages, different religions, different ethnicities, all coming together to work. He lived by the principle, it is only in giving of ourselves in service of others that we truly find life. If all of us who believe that Cesar Chavez's work mattered, we all came together to show our power, we could be a mighty force in changing the world for the better. Do you believe that we can all work together in the spirit of justice and nonviolence? That if we all work together, we can put an end to racism and the tragic consequences that it has? Do you believe that it is possible that we could have economic justice? Could you get behind the idea that we can put an end to war and use those resources to better provide for our communities? If you truly believe this, then I want you to join me in saying as loud as you can, sí, se